Poussin. Here's a tonist of dutifully Irish letter checked or manipulated in some way or another. Are you still wondering who controls the US and the world to this very day? Check the eagle on the American $1 note. Notice the 13 olive leaves and 13 red berries.
George Floyd.
Before Akhenaten's time, the word Levi referred to the Irish letter L, or Lewis, which corresponded with the rowan tree. The hand of Akhenaten holding an olive sprig with leaves and berries. Here's a tonist subdutively continued to employ the few symbols he favored, such as the sun, beams of light, lion, and olive branch, etc.
Which is true.
The emblem for the tribe of Judah displays olive leaves and berries. The lion signifies the Judites, Atonis. The emblem of the United Nations bears an uncanny resemblance to that of the tribe of Judah. Each sprig of olive or laurel contains 13 leaves. Oak leaves, acorns, and olive sprigs can be found on military regalia the world over. The Rothschild coat of arms. The arrows and eagle appear on the American $1 note, while the lion, representing British oligarchic control and symbolizing the Judites, Levites, or Atonis, appears on innumerable national flags and royal coats of arms. Symbolism explains the mysteries that historians and experts just can't seem to fathom. Initiated artists such as Leonardo da Vinci, Sandro Botticelli, and Nicolas Poussin incorporated Kabbalistic, Hermetic leitmotifs in their canvases. In Poussin's painting, entitled Grapes from the Promised Land, we see the ladder and tree. Millions of people view paintings of this kind, entitled Grapes from the Promised Land. We see the ladder and tree.
You see why I always tell you look for the ladder?
Millions of people view paintings of this kind unaware of the secret information incorporated into the designs. Stairway to Heaven.
See why I always tell you look for the ladder?
There's a lot more information here.
This is the game board. In the game and the matrix that we play. And the board changes constantly. Okay? Letters, symbols, whatever.
Meets the eye. Freemasonry, the oldest secret.
And this is what I saw at CERN. Okay? That, like, you go up this ladder after you make it out of the, I guess, I don't know, web. It's all web regardless. Yeah, there's a chessboard.
Society in the world has its roots in the old world over 6,000 years BC. Ancient Freemasonry.
Yeah, we're really sons of the sun. I mean, you could be whoever you want to be, but, you know. I worship and give praise to the Ad.
Masonry signs and symbols were incorporated and recognized by everyone worldwide.
CERN.
When they greeted each other, they would acknowledge the greeting through signs and handshakes. High-level insiders know quite well there is no significant difference between Judaism and Masonry. Masonic aprons with olive and laurel sprigs. The The Merovingians who established the Vatican Cistercian Order and Knights Templar date back to the so-called Dragon Court or Brotherhood of the Snake that had its headquarters in Egypt, but which originated in pre-Diluvian times. As the centuries slid by, Kabbalism was employed by many other groups. Eventually it was passed into the hands of the Christian Roman Catholic Church and the Society of Jesuits. The remaining books of the Old Testament are actually books of alchemy or ancient chemistry, further veiled in allegories. The very famous Song of Solomon is actually the alchemical process. The books of the New Testament, except for the book of Revelations, which was a call for the downfall of the Roman Empire written around 170 AD, are books of astrology and astronomy and stellar movements also hidden in allegory. If one joins an organization such as the Freemasons and goes high enough up the chain, he or she will learn how to read the allegories and see what information the ancients were hiding in those allegories, and also see how accurate that information is compared alongside modern-day chemistry and astronomy. Alchemy comes in two primary flavors that address the two primary cosmos we inhabit, the microcosms and the macrocosms, dealing with the two realms we perceive. Exoteric realm is where the alchemist would attempt to turn lead into gold. Esoteric realm is more about turning spiritual lead into spiritual gold.
He's also talking about exogenesis, exo, planets, inside, out.
Knights Templar, or the Christian Crusaders, also laid claim to this knowledge around 1000 AD. When the Templar Knight found the translations and actual meanings hidden within the Bible, buried in the ruins of the Temple of Solomon, they blackmailed the Roman Christian Church with that information and became quite rich and powerful. One of the other Kabbalah secrets is that matter can be transferred molecule by incantation and thought, and that the structure of reality is really a holographic illusion. The Baphomet goat head was used by the Knights Templar. Over 7 centuries later, the legends of the Templars and the mystery of Baphomet is alive more than ever before. Hundreds of secret societies and religious orders claim descent from the Knights Templar in some form or another. Almost all Hermetic groups claim to be perpetuating the Templar tradition. Eliphas Levi's main thesis was that all forms of occultism and mysticism held a common secret doctrine. Ritual magic, he said, utilized the existence of what he called the astral light, defined as a natural and divine agent, at once corporeal and spiritual, a universal plastic mediator, a common receptacle for vibrations of movement and images of form, a fluid and a force which may be called, in a sense at least, the imagination of nature. It was this agent which reflected the magician's will expressed during a ritual and actualized it into existence. He illustrated this concept with a hieroglyphic form, which he called a Baphomet, claiming this was the spiritual principle secretly revered by the Templars. Levi used this picture as the frontispiece for a number of his books. Levi's image of Baphomet is virtually synonymous in the common mind of the uninitiated with the image of Satan enthroned in hell. That's only because the most modern depictions of the devil are based on the card of the same name in the popular Rider-Waite Tarot deck, and this card is itself based on Levi's depiction of Baphomet. Levi repeatedly stated that Baphomet was not the same as the devil, however. Rather, it was a symbol of a transcendental power beyond good and evil, man and beast. The Baphomet goat head represents wisdom through thought.
Man is part beast.
Most Gnostics, the Ophites, believed that the physical universe was a prison created by a demon named Ialdabaoth. Both comes from Bythos, or Bihat, and means chaos or the deep. It is connected to our modern words like bath and baptize. Chaos was called the abyss, or the primeval waters, and was analogous to the first matter that the alchemists believed creation came from the king of the jinn or demons, who is worshipped as the true God by the Yazidi sect in Iraq till this very day. The word Azazel is reminiscent of the word Azoth. This was a personification of the alchemical Alcahest, also called the universal agent, the philosopher's stone, the quintessence, or the fifth element. This was the original substance from which they said the whole universe was formed. The alchemists believed that it was to be found within the prima materia, or first matter. It was believed that this substance could be used to transform any one thing into another. The Knights Templar invented the banking and checking system in the late Middle Ages. Instead of trading with gold and silver coins, they mainly traded in coded chits, paper that represented a promise to pay and the right for the recipient to collect their payment in gold or silver coin at the bank branch of their choice. Later, this developed into fractional reserve lending. The Jewish-Christian connection then enjoyed the creation of Islam in the early 7th century AD. This brought together the three major players, collectively known as the Children of Abraham, or the Children of Human Sacrifice, who form approximately half of the world's population. The worship of Amen-Ra was hidden within royal power circles and secret societies to this very day. Christians and Muslims unknowingly end their praise in Amen, which is Amen-Ra, sun worshipping.
Told you. But nobody wants to listen, not even... You tell Christians this, oh my God, they'll riot and rebel.
When you read the words holy prophets, know that
Who do you think Jesus was? A sun god.
this refers to whole prophets, monetary prophets. This is simply more reference to the money tree. This is how the Luciferian egregore group thinks. Sound and shape association is everything. These genetics were passed along from generation to generation. If this interbreeding remains constant, so it is with the Luciferian-minded thinkers. They have this Kabbalism knowledge of how to control energy and how to manipulate light. In other words, they know how to manifest deceit, the art of lying and deception, sexual deprivation, mind control of the masses through religion, political and intellectual institutions, subliminal programming of sigils, language, and the number system, how to manipulate matter, one molecule at a time, hiding mathematical equations in architectures and art, like anti-gravity. How to keep the population in a constant state of panic and terror. The secrets from ancient mystery schools, coded messages, divide and rule, magic, alchemy, incantations, and the control of thought from entities and much other occult knowledge which is used to this very day. Israel has no historic claim on her mythical Davidic kingdom, and the cold, hard science of archaeology proves it. Gospel. Go spell means go spell. In other words, go, put the word in the spell, or the trance state through religion and science the rebirth of thinking. How well we know what a profitable superstition this fable of Christ has been for us. A quote from Pope Leo X, 1513 to 1529. The truth of the liars and the ancients were hiding in those allegories. The cosmos we inhabit, the microcosms and the macrocosms, dealing with knowledge around 1000 AD. He blackmailed the Roman Christian Church with that information and became quite rich and powerful. One of the other Kabbalah secrets is that matter can be transferred more. They blackmailed the Roman Christian Church with that in 1000 AD. When the Templar Knight found the translations and actual meaning, the Knights Templar, or the Christian Crusaders, also laid claim to this knowledge around 1000 AD. When the Templar Knight found the translations and actual meanings hidden within the Bible, buried in the ruins of the Temple of Solomon, they blackmailed the Roman Christian Church with that information and became quite rich and powerful. One of the other Kabbalah secrets is that matter can be transferred molecule by incantation and thought. We will learn how to read the allegories and see what information the ancients were hiding for the downfall of the Roman Empire, written around 170 AD, are books of astrology and astronomy and stellar movements also hidden in allegory. If one joins an organization such as the Freemasons and goes high enough up the chain, he or she will learn how to read the allegories and see what information the ancients were hiding in those allegories, and also see how accurate that information is compared alongside modern-day chemistry and astronomy. Alchemy comes in two primary flavors that address the two primary cosmos we inhabit, the microcosms and the macrocosms.